You sit in a cafe, blending into the room like someone nobody notices. Your target is nearby, but he has no awareness of you at all. You look ordinary, doing nothing that would make anyone remember your presence. A message arrives, simple and quiet, but everything changes in that moment. You do not react, because reacting is how people become visible. You finish your drink, move naturally, and prepare to leave without attention. You walk out calmly, just another person going about a normal day. Moments later, everything behind you is erased in an instant. People panic, trying to understand what just happened around them. You keep moving forward, because stopping would make you part of it. This story will be rewritten into something simple and believable. But the truth will never include you or anything you did, because from the beginning, you were never meant to exist at all. You never applied for this, because there was never anything to apply to. No listings, no recruiters, no system that allows people to find this work. People like you are identified long before you realize someone is watching closely. By the time they approach you, the decision has already been made internally. You are already among the elite, the top fraction of the top 1%. Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, CIA paramilitary, units that define the highest standard. You have operated in countries that officially never had your presence recorded anywhere. You have done things that will never be acknowledged or released to the public. You thought you understood everything this world could offer at your level. Then someone sits across from you and proves you understood nothing at all. He has no rank, no insignia, nothing that signals authority or importance outwardly. He looks ordinary, forgettable, the kind of man you would ignore immediately. Soft hands, average posture, someone who disappears in a room without effort. That is the first sign that this is not what you are used to. He asks one question, simple, but weighted with something you cannot define. How is your Arabic? Not whether you speak it, but how well. You answer, mentioning where you learned it, where you used it in the field. Places that never make headlines, places that officially do not exist publicly. He listens without reacting, then slides a thin folder across the table. Inside, there is one page. No markings, no classification, nothing official. Just text describing something that should not exist inside any system. A unit without a name, without records, without acknowledgement anywhere at all. The military denies it. Intelligence agencies pretend it does not exist either. Oversight cannot track it because it is not listed under anything real. If you join, your current life ends in ways that cannot be reversed. Your records will show something safe, a transfer, a desk assignment somewhere forgettable. Your family will believe it, because there is no reason for them to question. You will miss birthdays, funerals, moments you cannot ever get back again. Contact becomes rare, controlled, limited by things you cannot explain to anyone. If you die, there will be no body, no ceremony, no acknowledgement at all. No flag, no salute, no one standing over a coffin with your name. Just a mark somewhere hidden, representing someone who officially never existed. He asks one question, direct, with no room for hesitation or discussion. Are you in? And everything about your life pauses in that moment. You think about your family, your future, everything you thought you were building. You understand that saying yes means losing all of that permanently. And still, you say yes before you fully understand what it costs. He stands, shakes your hand, and walks away without another word. You never see him again, and that is exactly how this works. 3 days later, you receive coordinates. Nothing else. No explanation provided. A location somewhere in the American South, though you cannot confirm exactly where. That uncertainty is intentional, and now you understand why that matters. Because from this point forward, clarity is no longer something you are given. You arrive at a facility designed to remove any sense of direction immediately. You are not told where you are, and you are not meant to find out. You have been through selection before, and you believe you understand difficulty. You have run until failure, endured pain, survived environments meant to break people. You think you know what hard is and what it demands from you. You are wrong, and that becomes clear within the first few hours here. They do not test your strength, because strength is already expected at this level. They do not test your shooting, because that skill no longer matters here. Everything you proved before is irrelevant inside this environment now. They are testing something else, something far harder than anything physical. They want to know if you can disappear without leaving anything behind. On the first day, they give you a photo and a simple instruction. Follow this man for 8 hours and do not let him notice you. Do not let anyone notice you, because that is part of the test. It sounds simple, something you have done before in real operations. You begin confidently, tracking movement, adjusting distance, reading everything around you. 2 hours later, you are stopped and told the exercise is over. You failed, and you are not even sure when it happened. They show you photos taken of you from angles you never considered. People you never noticed were watching you the entire time closely. A woman with a stroller who identified you within minutes of starting. A shop owner who marked your pattern after one repeated movement. Moments where you crossed too quickly, checked your phone at the wrong time. Small mistakes, but together they made you visible to trained observers. No one yells, no one criticizes, they simply show you the evidence. And you understand immediately that you are not invisible at all. Training shifts from skill into identity, and everything begins to change. It is no longer about what you can do, but who you can become. You are taught to live inside environments, not just operate within them. That means understanding how people think, not just how they speak. You learn how behavior changes based on culture, class, and social context. The same action can mean different things depending on where you are. So you adapt, not by copying, but by internalizing how people exist. You build identities that feel complete, with history, habits, and natural reactions. Each identity has its own rhythm, its own way of moving through the world. You learn to switch between them without hesitation or conscious effort. Over time, these roles stop feeling like roles and start feeling real. You react without thinking because the identity becomes instinctive. The person you were before begins to fade quietly in the background. You stop comparing who you are to who you used to be, because that version of you is no longer useful in this world. You are not pretending anymore. You are adapting at a deeper level. And eventually, you realize something has changed permanently inside you. You are no longer a person with roles, but someone built from them. You move between places, taking on identities that allow you to exist unnoticed. Each location becomes temporary, just another environment you learn to belong in. You build routines slowly, giving people no reason to question your presence. You meet people, talk casually, and become part of their normal surroundings. Nothing you do feels important on the surface, and that is intentional. You observe quietly, collecting small details that others ignore completely. Over time, those details begin forming patterns that reveal something larger. You start to understand networks, relationships, and systems hidden beneath normal life. You never rush, because time is what allows everything to come together naturally. When the picture is clear, you pass it forward, without explanation or recognition. What happens next does not involve you, and it never will. Others act, and the world sees only the result of what you found. You are already gone by then, existing somewhere else under a different name. Your role is finished the moment the outcome becomes visible to others. Years pass, and you stop counting how many lives you have lived. Different names, different countries, different identities that replace each other constantly. You become fluent in places that were never meant to know you existed. But the life you left behind does not wait for you to return. Your wife is gone, because she could not live with someone who disappears. You were never able to explain where you went or what you did. You came back different every time, quieter, harder, less connected than before. The distance grew slowly until there was nothing left to hold together. The divorce was quiet, just another thing that ended without explanation. Your children know you as someone who is never there when it matters. Birthdays missed, moments lost, replaced by gifts from places you cannot name. You become a stranger in your own life, even when you are present. Friends disappear because your life does not allow real connections anymore. Every relationship becomes either temporary, controlled, or a potential risk. The number of people who know the real you becomes smaller over time. Most of them are part of the same world that erased you. The mental weight builds slowly, almost too quietly to notice at first. You remember people, sources, contacts, faces that trusted you completely. Some of them did not survive, and you carry that without recognition. You start dreaming in languages that are not your own anymore. Sometimes you wake up and need a moment to remember who you are. There are no medals, no acknowledgement, no record of what you have done. When it ends, there is no ceremony, no closure, no final explanation. Just a life that continues, carrying things no one will ever understand. Years pass, and eventually the missions begin to slow down. You stop counting identities, countries, and the things you left behind. One day, you are sitting in a cafe, just another person in the room. Older now, quieter, the kind of face no one remembers after looking away. You sit with a coffee, reading, existing the way you were trained to. Then you notice him, a young man trying too hard to look normal. His posture is stiff, his movements slightly off, just enough to stand out. He checks his watch too often, scans the room when he thinks no one sees. You recognize it instantly because you used to look exactly like that. Before the training, before the identities, before everything was taken from you. He thinks he is invisible, but you saw him within seconds. You could teach him, show him how to disappear the right way, how to move without being seen, how to exist without being remembered. But you do nothing, because that is not how this works. He does not know you exist, and he never will. That is the rule, and it has always been the rule. Maybe he will make it, maybe he will fail, maybe he will disappear. Maybe one day he will become exactly what you became. A person without a name, without a record, without a life anyone understands. You finish your coffee, fold your paper, and stand up quietly. Outside, the world continues. People walking, talking, living normal lives. None of them know, and none of them are meant to know. You walk into the crowd, just another face that disappears instantly. Because in the end, that is all you were ever meant to be.